26, where I show pharmacists how to get their 26 on TOEFL Speaking by showing how I got 30 on TOEFL Speaking. Polina, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Polina. I'm from Ukraine, and I currently live in the United States. I studied pharmacy back in Ukraine, and now I'm trying to transfer my degree to America so I could work as a pharmacist. And because of that, I need to pass TOEFL with the high score, and we are going to practice speaking section of it today.
Yes, you got it. Today we're doing question number 1. We are attacking question number 1 because we are confident in our answers. So Polina has the question, and Polina, if you're ready, I'll give you 15 seconds to prepare.
Yes.
Okay, 15 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
When I have a choice, I definitely prefer to watch educational programs rather than entertainment programs, because I believe that educational programs can help me in my profession. For example, I work at CVS Pharmacy, and I recently watched a documentary about coronavirus, and that documentary really helped me when I was counseling my patients. What's more, about a month ago, I watched a cooking show where I learned how to cook lasagna, and then I cooked that lasagna to my family, and we had really good time enjoying the meal, and it was really fun. So for those reasons, I think it's better.
Time. Okay, good. Let's see here. The only thing that sticks out to me is there was not a counter argument towards the option you did not choose. That's the only thing that sticks out to me. Everything else that I wrote here, 1 through 4, I liked. I liked your topic development. Your speaking rate continues to get faster. I hear that you're giving more details, more personal examples, more details in your reasons, in the reasons for your choice. So good, Pauline.
Counter argument will be, I always prefer to watch educational programs because that's something that could help me in my career. For example, I work at CVS Pharmacy, and I recently watched a documentary about coronavirus, and that really helped me to counsel my patients. Whereas when I watch entertainment program, I believe that it's just a waste of time. I don't get anything useful from it, and that's why I never prefer doing so.
Good, good. I like it. That's all we need is 1 or 2 sentences to contrast the side that we didn't take, and you just did it well right now. Very good.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I will have time to say what's more. I recently watched a cooking show where I learned to cook pasta, and I cooked the pasta to my family, and that made our gathering very fun, and we had a lot of good quality time together eating delicious meal. For those reasons, I think educational programs are much better for me.
Nice.
Well,
I like it.
Probably I will not fit in the whole answer in time.
That's okay, because what you're doing is more important. You're filling in those 45 seconds with as much detail and speaking rate as you can. So that's better to not be able to fill it in, because boom, 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 you're already filling in so much supporting examples and details. Okay, so good. Let's see here. Let's look back at the notes that I took. What do you want to remember about your answer? Something to remember to improve on.
I can always come up with examples so quick and so well. The scariest part about the question number 1 for me is that sometimes I can come up with examples, but sometimes there are questions that it's really difficult to think of something.
Yes. And specifically, we're talking about question number 1, the personal choice. Sometimes it's hard to come up with examples based on the question.
especially in 15 seconds. Maybe if I have like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay,
But in
so
15
what? Yes, yeah, it is. It's only a short amount of time to prepare. This reminds me, I remember one time you gave an example that you said was not, the important thing was that the example fit perfectly with the question. It was, your example was something about studying abroad in Italy. And even though you didn't do that fully, it worked. The example was great for the question. So we can do things like that. The most important thing is that our speaking examples fit well within the questions.
Mhm.
All right, we have a lot of choices. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, is there any?
Sometimes I give one reason. I try to have two reasons prepared and then see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. If we can prepare two reasons, and you said, see how it goes. So maybe you just take off on the first reason and you're finding so many strong supporting examples with that, that you end up not needing the second reason. And that's perfectly okay. Your first reason is going to be filled with so much good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you want to say, remember, or ask about this answer to question number 1?
No, I would like to hear your answer.
Okay. My answer. Let's
Yeah.
do my answer. All right. So if you can get 15 seconds ready for me to prepare.
Let me give you.
Okay.
Okay, you have 15 seconds to prepare. Begin preparing now.
Okay.
Okay. You have now 45 seconds to speak. Begin speaking after the beep. Beep.
I definitely prefer entertainment programs on television more than I prefer watching educational programs on TV. The reason why I feel this way is because when I'm watching entertainment programs, that's when it's my time to relax. This is usually while I'm eating dinner after a full day of working and learning. If I want an educational program, I go to the internet with intention. When I'm watching something on TV, that's more of a entertain me while I eat and wind down, while I relax and begin to rest from a long day. So I'm going to get my educational programs from the internet with a focused intention. And this is why on TV, that's where I prefer entertainment programs. It's my time to relax. Okay. So you can comment on my answer while I also think about it. I'm trying to think of my counter argument.
I don't think you had counter argument. You just said that you prefer to watch TV because that's how you relax. Well, no, you have a counter argument because whereas when you want to educate yourself, you go intentional on internet.
Right. Yes. So I was talking about two things. If I could do my answer again, I would have added a sentence that clearly separated the two. I think I described it, but having a one sentence before I described it would have made the separation cleaner. Okay.
Yeah, it was good response, but maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, that could be a little bit better. I could clean that up. Okay, some things that were good in both of our answers. Of course, we know that at the very beginning to strongly state our personal choice. We give our reasons and examples, and we don't feel that we have to give a certain amount of reasons or a certain amount of examples. Based on the question, based on the subject of the question, it's going to be different every time, and that's okay. What's more important is that we give an impactful answer. So, topic development, language use, and delivery. Okay, so both of us were confident in our delivery. Both of us had a good high speaking rate. I like our answers. Is there anything else that you want to say about these answers before we decide if we want to flip our personal choice and give a second answer or have a mini debate?
No, I think we're I'm done. I don't have anything else to say about our first response.
Okay. About with
I
our
will,
first
I
response.
will try to give an opposite point to prove an opposite point. It will be
Okay.
harder for me because I wasn't prepared for that, and that will not be the first thing I choose.
Right. Okay. So I remember you said last time, you said something like, when it's uncomfortable, that's when growth happens. So
Yeah.
right now you'll give the personal choice that's not your first natural choice, but you're going to do it for speaking purposes
Yeah.
to challenge yourself to grow.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So let's start getting ready for that. So now, Pauline, of you choose entertainment programs over educational programs. Okay. 20 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
If I have a choice, I will definitely prefer choosing entertainment programs rather than educational ones because I work at CVS Pharmacy. I have very stressful job. I spend all days dealing with people and their issues. When I get home, I prefer to relax and do something that does not require a lot of mental thinking, like watching entertainment programs. What's more, entertainment programs can be really fun and I really enjoy watching them. And I think that whatever you enjoy, worth it your time. So for those reasons, I prefer to watch entertainment programs.
All right, nice. Okay. I heard you say that your first reason is because you have a stressful job. So when you get home, you prefer to relax. That would have been so let's language use. When I was taking notes down, I wrote down the word therefore to help. So I have a stressful job. I hear about people's issues all day. Therefore, when I go home, I prefer to relax.
Mhm.
Okay. And then your second reason was talking about enjoyment, watching TV at home. You want it to be joyful. This is why you prefer entertainment programs.
Yeah, and whatever you enjoy, worth it your time.
Right. So good. I can, as I listen to your answers, the first one, your natural choice educational programs compared to the second choice that you're challenging yourself to answer, I can hear that your speaking rate is lower. I can hear that your first answer is better, but that's good because I see that by forcing yourself to take your second choice, entertainment programs, there's growth coming from this because it's not naturally easy for you to defend that choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so good. I'm glad we're doing this. Okay. And does anything stick out to you? Anything that you want to remember to continue doing well?
Using connecting words, I heard that it's pretty important for the TOEFL on speaking and writing also. Using connecting words, make your speech, make your writing more clean, better, more
Yes.
connected because those are connecting words.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me
It was nice for me that you reminded that it will be good to use therefore.
Okay, great.
I know this word. I can use it. I just forgot about all those
Okay.
words. I think it will be good for me to try to implement them in my speech more.
Yeah. And okay, so I need to think about how I want to say this. So the reason why I brought the word up is because when I'm quickly, for this second answer, I didn't type your notes. I wrote them down right here.
Mhm.
And when I was taking your notes, I naturally wrote down therefore. I didn't even think about offering that as a piece of advice until after I wrote it and said, you know, that was interesting. So the way that I process it in my mind with my speaking fluency is to use the word therefore.
Mhm.
So that's how I'd like for us to describe it. Instead of thinking it's good to do it on the test, I want us and everybody watching that's benefiting from this to think that's a sign, that's an indicator of a higher English fluency level. Why? Well, when I say, therefore, for example, I have a stressful job. I'm listening to people's issues all day. Therefore, when I go home, I prefer to relax.
Mhm.
Therefore, strongly connects, you know, hey, I'm talking about my stressful job because I'm going to say that's why it's so important for me to relax when I get home.
Mhm.
So the word therefore instead of so helps us to communicate the second part of our point. Therefore, when we go home, we just want to relax. So that's how we think about it. It's a good connecting word because it more strongly explains the point that we are communicating.
Mhm. Oh,
Okay.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It's not related to the question, but I recently learned a phrase as a matter of fact, but I have difficulties to use it. How
Okay.
how do you use as a matter of fact in a speech in your sentences?
Excellent. Great question. Okay, so let's do it and let's apply it to this same sentence that
Is
we're
it like,
saying.
for example, or it's
As a matter of
for
fact,
instance, for example, as a matter
yeah,
of,
but it's a little bit stronger than that. So let me play with it here. Okay, so I'm gonna inject as a matter of fact into the same sentence that we've been talking about the last few minutes. So Polina said, I have a stressful job. Therefore, when I go home, it's important to relax. As a matter of fact, it's a household rule at my home that we're not allowed to talk about anything stressful for the first hour when I come home. That would be one way we use as a matter of fact. It's like it's so you said, therefore, when I come home, I prefer to relax. Prefer is like, okay, I prefer that, but if an earthquake happens, I'm not going to be relaxed. Okay. I prefer. That's like a low level of commitment. I prefer to relax,
Mhm.
but if my sister-in-law calls me, I know it's going to be a stressful call and I'm going to take it. But as a matter of fact, it's a rule at my home that during the first hour when I return home, I'm not taking any stressful phone calls. I'm not doing anything except putting my feet up and watching an entertaining TV program.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact. Okay, you try it. Let's go back and
So
forth
if
with
I
a
say,
matter of fact.
so I work at CVS Pharmacy. I have a very stressful job. As a matter of fact, I spend all days dealing with people's issues and no dealing with people and their issues. Would that work?
I like it because you could, when you said as a matter of fact, you connected it with all day, not some of the day or sometimes. So
But
as
I
a
see
matter of
as
fact,
for example, like where you use the word for example,
the
you
two are closely related, but as a matter of fact is a stronger,
here.
it's a stronger use. It means that there's less wiggle room, there's less flexibility. Like, for example, is just offering one option. But when you say, as a matter of fact,
That's a
all
fact.
day,
That's a fact.
yes, yes. You know, what I just said, my job, I have a stressful job. Let me make sure you understand because a lot of people say they have a stressful job. It's not really stressful. My job is so stressful that as a matter of fact, I spend all day listening to people's issues, all day, every day, not just sometimes on some days, all day, every day, as a matter of fact.
Mhm. So it's an example, but it has to be a fact. It has to be something that's
Yes, that's much
concrete.
more consistent
Mhm.
and a stronger example of the point you were just speaking about, the point you were just making.
Mhm. Oh,
Right.
okay. So it's when you say like it can be used to prove a point.
Yes.
To connect your reason and your example. That
Yeah.
is your
So
point.
let's good. This is good. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to continue. So first, let me do so how is it different than, for example? I have a stressful job. For example, I listen to people's issues. Okay, so there's one example. For example, I have to drive 3 hours to get to work and I stand on my feet all day with no breaks sitting down. That's another example. As a matter of fact, I have a stressful job. As a matter of fact, my stress levels have been so high from listening to people's issues all day, every day, that my doctor recommended I get massages once a week and exercise regularly.
Mhm.
All right, good. As a matter of fact. Okay, so what I would suggest for you to write down and remember would be to look and see when there are times that you can use therefore and as a matter of fact, and start using them, start playing with them to
It was
become
like,
more comfortable.
like you have a cloth item in your closet and it stays in the closet and you never wear it. That's how it was, as a matter of fact, in my mind.
Yes, okay. All right. And now
It
we're
was
going to take that shirt out.
been there for a while, but I never used it in the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yes. All right. So now we'll start using it so that it becomes a natural part of our speaking fluency. Very cool. Okay. All right. I'm going to look to end this live stream here, but then you and I can continue after a short break.
Okay.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope some of the tips in here were helpful for you. If you want to send me a question or a message, you can find more information in the description of this video. I'll see you soon.